What's up, yo? What's up?
I love that intro music. Oh,
Who doesn't? Who doesn't?
Who doesn't?
We had a good roll with a few different songs I had for my videos, and that was the best one. So I was like, let's go with that.
Do it.
For some reason, my headphones are being weird. Don't know why.
Who we got in?
Checking the chat.
Yeah. We has got Collision Bomb. Hail. Black Rose Comics. Yeah. Leandro Algorin. Hello, Mo Biggs. Am I frozen out or is Joe frozen out?
Am I frozen?
No.
All right, cool.
We usually tag team this.
No, it's I'm on your roll, and I'll jump in whenever I jump in.
Oh yeah. And we got our guest Heroineburgh. It was right in the chats, and Art Jedi's there. Awesome,
nice.
Awesome.
So we got the crew. We got some weebs up in the house. We already talked about Black Rose, but with some weebs, we got Marvin Wynn is in the house from last night. Yo.
Nice,
here to support HB, I'm sure. And whoa, already with the sweet links. Thank you, Mo. Yes. Please pick up Star Set. There's actually some special goodies coming later this week. I'm going to start announcing. And but in the meantime, we're like halfway there to getting the patches. So we'll talk about that later. But we've got two guests to announce to bring on. This is the first of its kind for Art Bros. Art Bros is usually a one guest per night thing. And today we're doing two. So this time we've got a little bit of a mix. We've got one that's very kind of bright and maybe more optimistic, and one is a little more dark and has Satan in the title. So so I want to introduce Lucifer Storm and
clearly I'm the one who's doing the bright stuff.
Yeah.
Wait, I got to move you around. You're the darkness. You go on the left, sinister side.
The left hand.
Right. Dude, I like the 4 though. I'm going to move you over here. I'm going to go this side.
Okay, I see how I'm cool with this. Hey, high five or low five. All right, we got teamwork makes the dream work.
Absolutely. So we're here to talk about books and just have a good time. We usually. With one guest, it's a little different because we're trying to go through the paces of each one. And I don't necessarily want to do that. I want to leave it kind of open-ended. Say we ask a question and then whoever one takes a crack at it. And that seems like a good way to go. Leandro is doing a great job as well. Throwing up here a great Lady Sadie kind of promo.
Great pitch.
And Not My Monkeys is here. What's up, monkeys?
Not my monkeys.
Hail.
That's right. I'm so used to every time you say monkeys, I'm used to Lucy saying his thing.
Is other Jeremy with you, Lucifer?
No, he's not. I'm afraid he's out shouting at parked cars and getting up to all kinds of mischief. So, but maybe next time I'll convince him to come up.
All right,
you should for sure. So, and Collision is saying a special welcome to Lucy. Thank you, Collision. So yes, let's start out with just a general question of how was your day? You guys, how you been?
HB, you want to start this one off?
Yeah,
sure. Our past couple days have been very interesting. We got some new stores on board, traveled around Pittsburgh. This is something that you want to be aware of, though. Our last 60 comics that got printed, they were the interior pages were flipped backwards in the staple, and we didn't notice it till some went out. So I had to go out to 2 stores yesterday and take the staples out, flip the pages, put the staples back in, and redo them. Yeah. So
wow.
Always make sure, especially if you're doing smaller runs, printing in demand, make sure that all of your comics are facing the right way and the pages are in the right order before you send them out.
It is. That's key. As you say that, I want to intro like you're doing a book in a very you're not crowdfunding your book.
No.
So maybe give a little bit of that backstory, not backstory, but just give a little preface, and then we'll move on to how Lucy's doing.
Yeah, what's your superhero story?
A preface about the books. Well, first, I'd just like to compliment Lucy. We like many dark things from England. In fact, some of our episodes are named after goth and industrial bands from England, and we have a Satanist superhero. In fact, Hellfire. She literally invokes Satan when she uses her powers, so it's okay.
Fantastic.
So it's okay.
I'm going to quote you on that later on.
So what you want to know about the basic nature of the universe? So Heroineburgh, it basically
more so. I was thinking more so like the meta. Like I want to get in the books afterwards. It's like maybe
more about you.
Yeah, more about like how many issues you're in, like which way you're trying to fund it, where can you find it, kind of thing.
Oh, okay. Some of the business stuff. So, the issues, 2 issues of the comic book have been printed. They follow the fact that we have done 19 live action episodes. We started out as a TV show, which is still going on. Every 3 to 4 months, we put out a new episode. Wow. And the comic books are based on the TV show instead of the other way around, but both use the same characters. And we print them on demand in Pittsburgh. Everything is done here in Pittsburgh. The art, the acting, the printing, the creation, everything. So instead of printing them in huge quantities, far away like in China, we print them at a local printer who is a friend of mine. And, we get them done in smaller batches. And so they cost slightly higher per unit, but they are extremely high quality, very glossy and super colorful.
Great.
So how do we get these books out? Well, people can get them 2 ways. We don't have a crowdfund. People can order them directly from the website simply by clicking on the add to cart button on the website where it says comic books, or they can purchase them at over 120 stores, mainly across North America, but a handful overseas. So we've been, during this pandemic time when Diamond shut down for a while and Alterna was supposed to do a distro, but never came through yet. And everybody was like, was forming alternate ways to get their comic books into stores. We joined a Facebook page, which is now celebrating its 1-year anniversary called Plan C Distribution. And there were about 100 retailers on there and maybe just as many creators. We made links directly with a whole bunch of stores and started taking orders for issue number 1 and PayPal invoicing them. And that worked pretty well. So over the course of about a year, we probably contacted about 400 places and got 120 stores to take the books in groups in groups of between like 3 to 10 per issue. And so as we've been adding them, we've been listing them on the website on a huge list. And so people can get them in person or from our website. It's very, very important to keep supporting your local comic shop. We have over a dozen shops in Pittsburgh that carry our book just alone, and there are 3 or 4 of them which are really important, and we support them very heavily. We try to go every 2 weeks. And actually, that's where I went. I went to 2 of those stores to flip the pages around for those books that were misassembled.
Right. I recently had to do that myself. I was trying to figure out how my pages would line up, and I had to like legit take out one of the books I don't really like, not naming any names. And
that's one of those nights you just get like your favorite record and just go get a small like pint of something, but and just sit there and just do the grunt work. It's
rough.
And then like you don't want to bend it. You don't want to mess it up in any way.
It's really hard to put staples back in the staple hole.
I've gotten really good at it. So.
You have.
Hey, did you come up with some like invention that might make it easier that you can, crowdfund? Like eventually you'd be like, hey, this thing can restaple your comic staples.
That's pretty funny. I wish there was such a thing for anybody who's done that before. But it seems like
I'll take notes.
You're well on the way. Heroineburgh, you seem like you're like well established with what you've done so far. Live action, anything is a big endeavor.
Yes.
Absolutely.
It's insane.
We've been running that for 3 years. That the live action series started in 2017 and kind of came out of my getting back into comics around 2014 after being away from it for a while. I was originally a fan of comics in the Bronze Age, and also a fan of TV shows from the same time. So a lot of what we do is based on, Batman 66, Electra Woman and Dyna Girl, Wonder Woman, Isis, Xena.
Nice.
So yeah,
the classics, if you will. Yes. So D knows me very well. It's hard to mess with Staples, especially after a box of wine, and he knows I have my hand on the trigger. I'm on the trigger at all times.
Don't drink too much coffee either. Your hands won't be steady enough; they'll start to shake.
That's a good point. It's a good point. I think I've adapted to such some such conditions.
Such a great collection in the chat today. Look at all
Lord Finatra is gracing his presence,
man.
Oh my gosh, Finatra.
Awesome.
Thank you for showing up, Finatra. We have also Phoenix is in the house. Ryan Wynn, our good old friend Ryan Wynn. Yes, he's the man with the plan, music man with the plan, and hopefully we get to hear more.
We're getting bigger, Joe. We're getting bigger,
dude. We're going to the top.
How does this happen? Was this your fault? This was your fault.
All it takes is a box of wine and bottles of coffee. That's what it takes.
That's right.
All right. That's how you get here, guys. If anybody wants to know, Lucy, how are you doing? How are you doing? How is your book doing?
Devil art thou,
there we go. That's more like
devil art
thou. I'm doing good, man. Just keeping busy. I'm still knocking out the pages for Lady Satan because obviously, got to hit that deadline. Got to make sure that book comes out in July, no matter what. And on top of that, I've also been juggling scripting duties for my next book, which is called Ed Gein, Demon Hunter.
I've heard such a thing.
I am going to be working with Christian Rossi from Alterna Comics on this book, so I can't wait to see the artwork that he produces for this. It's very different from Lady Satan, but still dark.
Can you remind me what his previous book was? Do you remember?
He's worked on Voidwalker and Trespasser, and he's currently working on Rad Rose.
That's the Trespasser is the one I've read. So I'm like, I knew I recognized the name. I was like, damn it.
That is such a good book. That was one of the reasons why I was like, oh man, if anyone should do this book, it's got to be Christian. Because his art style is perfect. The stuff that he was illustrating in Trespasser, I was like, wow, this is great. And then I got him to do a Lady Satan commission, so that all the backers could get like a free surprise print, and it was so good it didn't stay a surprise for long. It got straight out there, and I was like, you guys are getting this whether you like it or not. Fuck you.
All the best ones do. Yes. Really quick shout out because we had a couple new ones. Corey in the house. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Hell.
Heck yes. Nefarious is in the house.
Nefarious.
Yeah, dude.
Hell, dude.
This dude is always in that room with his bro, and just like me, except we're not in the same room, Jeremy. Maybe we should get a room like them. And
we did that for a couple of years.
Didn't work out.
You smell like Italian sauce.
We also smoked way too many cigarettes.
We did.
However, it's been a great time figuring out where you want to be in this world, and Lucy's figured out how to get his book to look the way he wants it to look. I've seen a lot of Lady Satan. What is this? What's the typical? What's the pitch for this new one? Just a one-liner, maybe. Can you give that
for Ed Gein or for Lady Satan?
Ed Gein.
For Ed Gein. I can't really give you a pitch on that just yet. What I can say is, whatever you think it is, it's not that.
Okay.
Is Ed Gein going to be driving his trademark sedan?
I'm working on that. I have put in so many little references in there that I'm like, okay, the hardcore serial killer fans, they are going to spot so much just in the first page alone and be like, okay, I'm all in. I am fucking all in. This book is going to be great.
Yeah. Pull a what was it? Once Upon a Time in Hollywood about it, and just like really turn it on upside down in the end, Did you hear that? Did you hear it? Kind of. He answered the question.
Without saying too much, Ed Gein's going to be going back to Plainfield.
Yeah.
But it's not going to be during the time he was alive.
Oh,
it's going to be sometime after.
Or before.
Intrigue. Guys, keep your eyeballs out for that.
Yeah, dude. Ryan Wynn's already on it.
The Geen. I should have worn my Geen shirt for this.
Yeah.
So
go get the nails.
That's what I like to hear when I ask how's your day going. You say Ed Gein, or just anything, the Geinmobile, whatever you want to say. That sounds like a good answer.
I don't know if I'd do that at McDonald's.
If it's a good day, you say Ed Gein. If it's a bad day, it's a Gacy situation.
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
Indeed. So I do want to start striding our way toward the mean potatoes of your guys' projects and whatnot. But before
was
we
that
do
pun
that,
intended?
mean potatoes?
The whole meat. Okay, never mind.
Oh, okay, I get it now. Yeah, your jokes are one level above the gap that I would usually introduce, but that's typical.
We bridge gaps here, dude. Let's keep going.
That's how we do it. So,
okay.
Speaking of bridging gaps, I went to the dentist today. No, I'm joking. So yeah, we got a hilarious. Well, let's save the hilarious story for later. Let's just get into Heroineburgh, and maybe you can tell us exactly what your book's about. I'll pull up maybe the best pages. You want me to go to your website, and we'll check that out?
Sure. You can go to the website and specifically click on the pages that say comics.
Okay.
It'll show you comic book issues 1 and 2. And then there's also pages that show trailers for our live action episodes. But as far as what Heroineburgh is, basically it's kind of born out of our love of superheroines from our youth, 70s and 80s and 90s, and kind of reborn with our, renewed interest in comics. And so we draw from everything old, like, from Batgirl on the Batman 66 show, all the way to, the very latest episode of Stargirl or The Boys or things like that. I'm really loving Invincible. Adam Eve is a favorite character of mine. So, so there you can see the front page of the website and what goes on in this universe. It's first of all, it's science-based, so we don't have any magic stuff going on. Everything's based on the science of epigenetics, which is tiny little changes in your genetic structure that you can actually will by force of will or by necessity. And in fact, cancer is really epigenetics, but it's a malformed version of it. So say that you could will yourself to have powers. What happens is the meteorite that explodes above the city of Pittsburgh, the fantastical version of the Steel City, gives a few dozen women on the XX chromosome the ability to transform themselves, and they do so using epigenetics. And about half of them are good guys and form a heroin league, that is Pittsburgh Heroin League, and the other half are mainly congeal into a cabal of evil villains, the Black Faction, who are trying to preserve corruption in the city and discredit the heroines by making them seem incompetent and useless. And in addition, there are some characters which switch sides or work for themselves solo, like anti-heroines or traitors to the cause. So what you're showing right there is a page from issue 1, and it's also a flashback to episode 8. It shows the Asian American heroine Ex Machina, who is a mechanical engineer at Carnegie Mellon University, which is a real thing here. And her powers are magnetism, like Magneto, and also fixing and repairing things at super speed, like MacGyver. So she builds this, she's Magneto meets MacGyver, right? So she builds these gloves here that you're seeing in the middle, and those are for the supervillain who is being held in the restraints. She gives them to her to enable her to live in the real world, because the supervillainess there, Dysphoria, her powers are anything she touches decays into atoms. She atomizes anything she touches. So in order to walk around in real life, she has to wear these nanotech gloves to protect, or to keep her from touching, from destroying everything she touches. So her theme might be that song "Destroy Everything You Touch" by Ladytron, if you've heard that song. Anyway,
what's that country music song about busting headlights and slashing cars?
Okay, well, that's another that's another kind of song, sure. So what you're showing there is our back cover pinup. That is Jania. She is our Lebanese American superhero. She is actually the only Christian Arab superhero in comics that I have been ever aware of. She specifically represents the Lebanese and Syrian Christian community in Pittsburgh. So she has the Arabic gem on her chest for Jania, and she is also kind of a little bit haram because she would have to be Christian because she is in fact a female jinn. Basically, basically she has super strength and she controls the wind. So let's call her a cross between Supergirl and Isis, right? You know how Isis used to say, "Oh, zephyr winds that blow on high." She does that, and so she has wind powers. Yeah, so she's that's the pinup of her from issue 1, and then there's a full story involving her in issue 2, and yeah, so all of these drawings that you see are based on the real life actresses who are in the live action episodes. They all look pretty much like the actresses. These are real life people, either amateurs or semi-pros who come from the worlds of like the music scene, the theater scene, comedy, improv, belly dance, burlesque, and cosplay worlds all come together, and they become our heroines.
I was muted for a long time trying to say stuff. However, that's how it always goes.
Right then and there, right there is the buttons that you click on to order the issue number 1.
Nice.
It's as simple as clicking on one button, and unlike with crowdfunding, you don't have to wait several months. You get it like within a week, first class, $9.99 postpaid in the States, or $19.99 anywhere in the world. We probably lose money on that one, but we'll do well in the States. And sure. When we sell them to stores, we sell them at around $4 a piece wholesale. So they end up in stores for about $7.99. But obviously sending 5 to 10 in one box is cheaper than sending one. So
right. Definitely, that's the way you save with shipping. My question is why did you guys start with live action before the comic or another version of the story? Is there a reason why you went that route?
Well, sure. There's kind of a little secret origin to the live action, to Heroineburgh itself, which is that we were getting back into comics around 2014. And then in 2016, I was interning in my old age at Pittsburgh Filmmakers, which is a local indie filmmaking institution, which actually collapsed last year, unfortunately, and is almost gone. But when it was in full operation for the past 25 years, it did a really good thing, which it allowed people from the community to borrow. If you joined as a member, you could borrow film equipment to use for free as long as you brought it back. And I ran the equipment room for a whole summer, right? And so I built up about 60 hours of volunteer time, and I got a free membership. So as a result, while I'm sitting there lending out cameras and lights to people, I'm reading these comics, and I'm coming up with stuff, and I'm like, why don't I do so? I had just recently seen over the past couple years before that, my friends put on a very, very entertaining play, a parody play called Pittsburgh Batman, in which all the characters in Batman were associated with various parts of Pittsburgh, and everything was done in the Pittsburgh Yinzer accent. Have you ever heard of that accent? And so that kind of, it was very campy, and I was thinking about that, and it kind of inspired me to create a whole universe where there were characters that came out of every neighborhood in Pittsburgh, every ethnicity, every profession, every subculture, and we would just create characters with a well-rounded background that represented, kind of a real Pittsburgh, but of course, it's fantastic because they have superpowers. So, for example, we have if you see at the top there of Heroineburgh number 2 on the I already said about the Lebanese character on the top right. That other one, that is Poderosa. She's a combination between Lois Lane and Power Girl. She's our Latina character, and she is a reporter who works for a TV station. She gets these powers, and then the TV station hires her to be the official superhero of the station. So they set her up really well. They give her a 6-figure salary and a secure apartment for her 2 kids. And she keeps working for the station as their official representative, as well as being one of the leaders of the Heroin League. And then At the bottom on the cover of issue 2, there is, for example, Savannah. She is from the neighborhood of Homewood, and she's one of our black characters. We have 4 actually, and she is a veterinarian at the zoo, and takes care of all the big cats, and she gets the superpowers of all the various cats. So she would be kind of our Catwoman meets Cheetah meets White Tiger type character.
Every cat ever, yes.
So yeah, but she represents that neighborhood, and then over there on the right is Vendetta. She's kind of a cross between Mockingbird and Huntress, and like Huntress, she is the daughter of a former mafia boss from the Italian neighborhood of Bloomfield, pretty famous neighborhood. She fights her dad's former mob people, and then joins the Heroine League, and has super fighting skill. One of her powers is that if she's confident in what she's doing, she's very hard to beat. But if you make her lose her confidence or doubt herself, she can more easily be defeated, and she loses some of her abilities.
I dig that. That's like a high risk, high reward kind of character. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, and kind of has kind of the martial arts skills. She's got the backstory of Huntress, but kind of the Eskrima fighting sticks of Mockingbird. So
nice combo. Nice combo there. Before we move forward, let's pay a little attention to the chat real quick, because I totally forgot there's so many interesting people here tonight. Mo Biggs is saying, does the Pittsburgh Heroine League ever run into any trouble with the Pittsburgh Heroine League? You know what I mean?
Jokes around. We do have at least out of our 19 episodes, we do have at least 2 where drugs are involved. For example, Hellfire, the Satanist superhero, she has to bust some drug users in a nightclub, because she represents the heavy metal scene of Pittsburgh also. And there's another one, Savannah's evil sister, who we introduced in episode 18. She is the henchwoman who works for a drug dealer. And so she's, she comes up against her sister, and they have a sibling rivalry, which not only is in episode 18, but also is in the second book, number 2, which you see there. So it's 2 cat-powered women going up against each other. So it's really a cat fight in a way.
That is well
right there. You can show it. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, there was the pun. There was the pun.
Yes,
yeah.
Pun.
So there's Savannah and her sister Panthira going at it. Panthira is very Panthira. She's kind of the black sheep of the family, and went into a kind of a drug-induced haze for a while, and so she's coming out
on her feet in the next panel.
And there's too many puns here. I was going to say, is she the Black Panther?
Okay, yeah. Let's give this a respect.
The family?
Sorry, we're having a little bit of fun. Yeah. Keep going. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, no, she's not. She's not a member of the Black Panthers. No, not officially. But
okay.
But yeah. So she's very jealous of her, successful sister, who's a doctor and stuff, and she was kind of a ne'er-do-well in the family, so she's taking it out on her sister. The family always loved you better than me, and now I'm going to take my revenge, type of thing. So they're fighting there. That's their initial meeting and battle.
Yeah, I dig that you've anything with siblings,
right.
Just you automatically get the whole your greatest enemy is your best friend kind of thing, or potentially is your greatest enemy. But
sure. We take advantage of that in many ways. Like, for example, there's a disgruntled worker or a disgruntled employee who becomes a villainess, or there's a woman who is qualified to get jobs, but she couldn't find one in her field. And so, she turns to villainy instead. There's a spurned lover who takes revenge on the Heroine League from the inside. So there's a lot of different motives for villainy here. We try to make them as varied as possible. The motives for evil, shall we say?
Right.
Which is more reflective of the human.
Right. Exactly.
I dig what you're going for here, because it's like you said, it's got like this obvious camp that it's camp, but also it's got the realism of an actual city. It's kind of like, I don't know, it's the opposite what a DC does. DC's got the camp, but they pretend it's like a fictional world because they're using fictional cities, but it's almost like a parody in like not a funny way. I don't know how else to put DC's work, but
I like to say that Pittsburgh is one of the characters in the series. And rather than having a fake environment like Gotham Metropolis or even Dakota, Pittsburgh is really there, and you see all the real landmarks and stuff.
Yeah.
I would compare it to the closest thing I can think of is a couple of years ago, right before I was doing this, I was into Miraculous Ladybug, which is a French cartoon that is animated by Koreans. So it's kind of a cross-national collaboration. And in Miraculous Ladybug, the city of Paris is really a big character in the story. So in the same way, Pittsburgh is a character here for sure.
That'd be so much fun. I remember like going on a field trip to Chicago art museums, and we took some of the tours, the trolley tours, the boat tours that they had through the canal. And dude, just taking a camera, if you were doing a book, a story like that, just having the opportunity to take a camera and just ride along and just snap these photographs and get these set and settings that everyone that would read your book would recognize if they're local. That's such a cool idea.
Sure. I mean, in Pittsburgh, we do have our local equivalents of the Eiffel Tower or the Louvre, right? And I think there's another comparison to be made too, as far as real cities. A lot of what we do here is based on an 80s comic book called Femforce, which is still around. And Femforce was your classic 80s good girl art. It had similarities to George Perez and John Byrne type art. It was created by Bill Black, who is still around making the book. And so that was based in Orlando. So I would say we're kind of like an updated version of what Femforce was in the 80s in Orlando, similar kind of approach.
Yes, that's true. And I am in Orlando as well.
Jeremy, I knew that. That's why I brought it up.
Jeremy's very close as well. But yeah, thanks for... yes, true. And that's cool, though. I like that angle. I don't think there's many out there like what you're doing. I think everyone in the chat thinks it's an interesting kind of thing. One, because who doesn't like ladies and like a full cast of ladies? I don't think we've seen one dude. Have we seen one dude at all?
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, there are plenty of male characters in the project. In fact, the main co-villain is a corrupt cop named Detective Mark Drake. And he's the guy that almost has the same name as Marvin Wynn's Marcus Drake, which we found out yesterday by accident was a coincidence when I met Marvin from The Edge. But so the main villain, Mark Drake, is in there. And then there's a lot of side characters, which are also male, mainly henchmen, boyfriends, and lots of other things like that.
Interesting. Yeah. So henchmen and boyfriends, dude. That's like, I feel like you're just describing some dudes that I know.
Right. There's a lot of these like that.
Right. However, it's not all of it. Anyway, so Leroy wants me to read this for you guys. Leroy's a great guy. And he had a great stream last night for Kenneth Rocaford. I wanted to make sure I announced that because it was a fantastic stream. Leroy says Pittsburgh is the worst city on the face of the earth. If this channel was monetized, they would have paid to super chat that. And you should have made it the best super chat. The $20 version.
You got to realize that's from the guy with the West Virginia logo. So, I mean, Pittsburgh is the Paris of Appalachia, we like to say, right? So I'm sure Leroy is from somewhere in the heart of it. There you go.
Oh, there's West Virginia hanging out real close to that, so get her done,
Right. Me and Jeremy are also from Kentucky, so we're not too far from what we're talking about here.
Right, and just east of us is what is known as Pennsyltucky or the T.
Right.
The T-shaped area, which is not Pittsburgh or Philly. So yeah, it's pretty large.
Correct. So what I like about everything you're doing is one that like we already talked about it in the side chat that crowdfunding is not the only way you can do your comics, right? So in your case, And in Marvin's case too, because he's going through Diamond, the traditional route.
Yeah.
I'd say your route is slightly better in that you have two avenues. You got your live action, and you have this comic, but it's all based off of this website, right?
Yeah, and it's based on the website, and we have other avenues too. For example, for 6 months, we were running a comic strip in the local newspaper, and so that was our third avenue of readership. And the only reason it stopped was because COVID, ceased physical production of that Alterna Weekly, right, which came out every 2 weeks. So in issue number 2, if you buy it, there's actually extra pages reprinting the comic strip that otherwise you would only be able to see in the local paper. So yeah, we've explored a lot of avenues, and in fact, there's some kids in the south suburbs of Pittsburgh working on a game for us. That might be a board game. So that might be our fourth avenue. But for now, there's just those two.
We've made a board game before, haven't we, Joe?
Dude, well, I've made 2 because you
did make 2. I made the first one with you, and then
It's kind of a style of it's called free play. Like I forget the name of it. There's a style called free something, and these three kids are working it up for us. I guess it's kind of like I don't really know how to explain it. It's kind of like Warhammer, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that freestyle play?
Like it's a war game, so you got spaces, you got turns, you got speed.
Yeah, I don't know what the classification. I'm not a tabletop guy, but
I'm pretty.
It's a tabletop thing, though, for sure. Yeah.
So that sounds cool.
I thought those were cats, and that's why I brought this up, but they're actually owls. Dude, get with the program, bro. You can't turn into owls. All right.
Bohemian Grove.
Bohemian Grove. Yeah. So great segue to cult activity.
Nice.
So we're going to segue off of Heroineburgh for a little bit because we had a great chat on these couple. Before we transition, though, is there anything while we're on this website about? Do you want them to? Is there a discount for getting issue 1 or something, Heroineburgh?
No, there's no. How you get the books and the episodes is you go to the website, then you click on where it says episodes, and if you want to order any of the episodes, they are pay downloads. You own them for good. Although we are working with a possible streaming service in Canada that might pick us up in 2 or 3 months once they launch, but we won't jinx that yet. In the meantime, go to the website, and if you click on episodes, you can download the episodes for $7.99 a piece. They're live action comic books, half-hour episodes. And if you want the comic books, you want to order them directly, you just go to where it says comic, and you click on comic book 1 and get it for $9.99, and then you click on comic book 2 and also get it for $9.99. So I guess the discount is you save shipping if you get them both, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a third thing. You see where it says comic shops?
Yes.
If you want to show that for a second, I mean, you don't have to show all the things, but you can show the long list of stores we're actually in, where people can physically walk in and buy the books.
Oh, wow.
Yep. There's about 120 total. And so, and actually,
well, you got what do they call this?
Are in Central Florida. 6 of them are in Central Florida.
Great.
So we have a little concentration there. I focused on that area because of Bill Black and Roland Mann and the folks that are there doing stuff that we like. And Jimmy Palmiotti's in Tampa too. We're in the store that's right below his office, Emerald City.
Nice.
So that's nice. But anyway, there's the list.
Florida men got great reputations.
So there's 2 ways you can get the book. You either order it from the website or go to the stores. And that's how you do it, pretty much.
So, yes, this is a fantastic way to do it. If you're not going to crowdfund, this is I think a lot of people will be moving this way. I don't know exactly how it's going to transition from, say, doing like an Indiegogo, or I know Clint Stoker brought up the whole like the plugin for your own website that you can add as a crowdfund. That's a cool way to go. And this is similar, except without the crowdfund aspect. And I don't know how much of they were trying to figure out how much of the sales from Indiegogo is Indiegogo and the momentum from building the stream.
Do your margins, man. It's a lot once you get the numbers up there.
Well, for sure, but it's also seeing the number build for other people, and you're not going to get that from here unless you add it in like a plugin. However, this is the next best thing if you want to say like an in between. You don't want to go through a middleman, But
are you? Oh, okay. So very quickly, were you wondering what like our sales were like to the stores so far?
I mean, sure, we can come back to you and close on it.
Sure,
I want to let's stay creative. Yeah, we're gonna go to Lucy, and then we'll come back with the enders and see.
What's up. We can talk about whatever. Let's go to Lucy.
Perfecto.
Cool.
But yeah, that's an incredible. I think it's like you're pioneering in a certain way the story with the whole city approach and that sort of thing. But now that we're moving on, we have to get dark now. Let me turn off my lights.
You turn off your lights, and I'll turn mine on.
Oh shit, dude. It's got dark in here, dude. So Lucy here, Lucifer Storm, everybody. Jeremy's singing the age-old. Oh, say it once for us, Lucy.
No, it's okay. It's all right. You're good. Move along.
Okay, let me pull up.
My dog will sing it for you. Ready? No. All right.
All right. Do you have a trailer on this? Yes, you do. I'm going to put up audio just in case we're going to play that bad boy.
Roll that beautiful bean footage.
So I totally missed what Leroy was saying about Yinzers rather. And I have no clue what that means.
Oh, okay. So Pittsburghers, the ones who are slightly less educated, shall we say, have a specific accent that is kind of Northern Appalachian. It's very specific to Pittsburgh. And one of the things they're not Yanzers. That's spelled wrong.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with Yanzi. No, they're called Yinzers because in Pittsburgh, the plural of you is yins. You know how in Jersey it's yous and in the South it's y'all?
Right.
In Pittsburgh, it's yins, and it's literally spelled Yinz. So that's why they're called Yinzers.
Oh, damn. That's really weird because I've done both. I've been in New York and then I moved to Kentucky. So I've done both of those. So now it's going to get super confusing if I ever go to Pittsburgh. Weird. Thank you for that insight.
That's why they're called that. Yeah.
All right. So do you have any
everyone education?
That's what we do around here. We try to keep it as educational as possible as we're learning our books.
We're applying for our accreditation next week.
Yes. I don't know with what, but all right.
So Rose diplomas.
Lucifer Storm, good to have you on.
It's good to be here, man.
You have not only do you have a killer looking book, you have a up and coming, very, very popular, in my opinion, like a YouTube channel. And I like what you're doing over there. You can talk about whatever you want. What do you think is your most pressing thing you're kind of putting your time into right now?
I would say Lady Satan is definitely my most pressing thing. I mean, like, don't get me wrong. I love doing YouTube. I work hard on my YouTube channel, but the books come first. The books are my job. YouTube is the side hustle.
Awesome. I'm going to move you up. That way I can kind of see you without looking too far down my screen. So I'm glad. Yeah. So the YouTube thing for you is like a way to promote, but also just have fun, make some cool, informative stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
I dig that approach. So I've never heard the real full Lady Satan pitch. I've watched the video. Wow.
Yes.
I'm excited to know.
The pitch switch has just been flipped.
Yes. It says you got this funded February 6th. So when did it launch? I mean,
it launched December 7th for the full 60 days. I didn't do any of the 30 days and then extended by 30. I was like, no, let's go for the full 60 and just see what happens.
Oh, yeah. I'm doing the same thing. I'm glad you are one of the 60 dayers. I'm going to start a new club. I'm going to invite all the Twitter
I was
people.
in it. My next ones, I'm going to go with the 30 and then apply for the extension. But my first one was 60. And that's a long time.
Damn straight it is.
So so give me a little bit of you tell me where I should go if you want to watch the trailer, if you want me to scroll down as you talk. What do you think?
I tell you what, let's start with the trailer and then I'll do the pitch.
Yeah, it might buy you a little time too, because I don't know the last time you gave your pitch, been closed for a while.
It's been a little while.
Yeah. Here we go. Oh, do this. Oh man.
You'll think after this, with the forever. Why discussing? Why did you hide? You son of a bitch, I'm gonna hate you forever. For many years, I'll spit in your face. You coward.
Buffering.
Good old technology.
You coward, you weirdo. That's a fucking piece of shit. You coward, you weirdo. You face this shit, let go. You coward, you weirdo. You face us. They've been in the war to keep one. Me, I'm a mistake, or I'm a sea. You're sticking your voice and banging me. Screaming, what have we found?
All right.
Nice.
See, that really gets me pumping because it usually does. I'm into very much a metally screamo type of music, so I'm digging it already. Let's get the Jordan Peterson out of here.
Unless Jordan Peterson wants to pitch the big film, that would be interesting.
Lucifer Storm's new book, 12 Rules to Get to Hell. So what's up?
Well, you see, it's her father wasn't a man. He didn't make his bed every day.
Got to be more Kerbity. Back the way you came. Because that trailer is awesome, but you can't really get more than maybe the gist of what's kind of happening. So tell us the real deets. Tell me the real deets.
Okay, here comes the pitch. So, Lady Satan, an angel in a killer's dress, is a revenge tale unlike any other. It takes elements of the horror and the thriller genre and blends them together with a noir aesthetic to create a truly haunting, character-driven story. The story of Lucille, a stripper from France who was abducted to be the star in a snuff film, but she did something that no one else has done. She survived. And because of that, she becomes a vigilante called Lady Satan. She travels from town to town, taking down small-time crooks until she finds herself on British soil, where she discovers that the man who abused her in front of the camera is a high-ranking British police officer who is under investigation from the MI5. So she has one chance, and one chance only, to exact her revenge upon him.
Dude, it sounds so awesome. Here's the thing. I lied before. I did hear this pitch once before, but I didn't know who you were before. And I was like, "Who's this Lucifer Storm dude?" I was in the fringe.
Who's this British weirdo?
Awesome. I was in the fringe. I don't know what stream was on, but I was like, I'm in the fringe of this chat. I don't know.
Since when did Paul Bettany go Luciferian? You know?
Yeah, he just become a Satanist here. Let's see what the coolest part about this is.
Awesome.
You've nailed the noir, noir clean feel. It's like. Like right here, this should be probably inside. What was that video game called? 13 or something? Have you seen that game? I think it's something like that. 13. You ever seen that? It's like a cell shaded ish type of comic style, but so for some reason it reminds me of that in some weird way.
Curse of Obra Dinn is the only thing I'm thinking about. But
Ooh, that's a little more pixelated. But yeah, this is awesome. This reminds me of almost like a clean video game is what I'm saying. Like these are all your inventory or something. Anyway. Tell us what's going on maybe with some of these pages.
Okay, well, like that first page with the Eiffel Tower and everything, that's the opening page of the book. I'm not holding the reader's hand and saying, it's okay, we're going to go on this journey together. The dark woods aren't that scary when you're with a friend. No, I'm dropping them right in the middle of her backstory, and I'm just giving them like a little taste of the backstory, just enough to know that this book it's not going to be for the easily offended. It's not for the faint of heart. If you have any doubts, do not back it. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
So yeah, look, I see what's happening in the chat. Leroy is already mad because now Mo left because I didn't pay attention to him. That's typical Mo. Who knows?
Mo.
We love you, Mo.
So
just in case you're watching
helpful,
this
man.
on the replay.
I was always around.
Yeah, come back again, bro. You know, look, this is not very long that I've been streaming. I'm getting used to all this clicking and talking and shit. So let me just say, come back, Mo, and give us your words and links once again. All right, so yeah, this is an awesome intro, and it seems like you're right. It's very much letting you figure it out on your own.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what I wanted to do with the beginning of the book was just say, hey, you know, here's a little taster, and if you think this is dark, it only gets darker from there on out. Like all the pages that you see on this campaign, they're random pages picked from the first act out of a 5-act structure. So nothing's really being given away. I mean, like a lot of people did come to me saying, oh, you know, that double page spread with the hand and everything, is that from the ending? And it's like, oh, no. That's just one of the unfortunate people who fucked up. And Lady Satan found them, and it was like, okay, me and you, we're gonna have a conversation that you're not gonna enjoy.
Yeah, I think that, like, for the most part, it's cool that you're giving random pages, because I don't think you need to necessarily like start reading in between the lines here a little bit. You know, just the style of it alone is like half Sin City, half, I don't know. Like, anybody can pinpoint the rest of this?
I can, but I don't want people to go Googling and trying to watch this movie. But like, well, there's a Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, or that like series. So I get that out of like the abused girl turned like vengeance or vengeful. So that's where I'm running.
Yeah.
But running parallel with Serbian film. But you know what I'm saying? So yeah, you get it, but hopefully that you know, maybe
I get exactly what you mean when you say Serbian film. Man.
Oh man, I didn't want it to be repeated. All right, there you go. Love it.
Then you shouldn't have said it, bro.
That's what we get on, dude. That's what we get on. This is awesome.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. But yeah, I can see those parallels, but this is kind of something else. I mean, like I've spoken to a couple of people. I've spoken to a couple of people about this book, you know, and I've had like one person be like, oh, it's just I Spit on Your Grave. And it's like, I don't remember Jennifer Hills being in a snuff film.
Yeah, right.
That's just one of the distinctions, kind of thing, you know. But this, like I said, this is a very character-driven story. There's a lot of focus on her psychology, because one of the things that I don't mention in the pitch is obviously if who's survived a snuff film? I can't think of one person who has. So, you know, I have to sit there and think, well, what kind of a person is she after going through a trauma like that? You know, it's obvious that she's going to be suffering with things like PTSD, but she's also suffering with a very a rare illness called PGAD, which stands for persistent genital arousal disorder. So whenever she causes severe harm to someone, she has a very painful and debilitating orgasm. Which you say that to some people and they're like, well, that doesn't sound too bad. It's like, no, it is. You'll see in this book how bad
it's like
the
Joker. It's like Joaquin Phoenix Joker's laugh, like hurting him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Pretty wild.
Absolutely.
That's pretty wild. That's the first time I've heard that angle. That's interesting, man. I dig it. I dig like anything that's like that out there.
Yeah.
You've done your homework with, let's try to make it unique. And I think that's a good spin.
And set the uneasy tone.
Real quickly, let me address this. Do we have a Discord? He says. 24 Eyes, we don't have a Discord. However, I think I'm going to start a little group on Twitter. We'll just call it the Bros. And anybody who wants to join the Bros, we'll send you a link, and you can chat with us about whatever we're talking about for the shows. But yeah, that'll answer that. And thanks for Mo for sticking around. Really appreciate it. My kind words have asked you to stay. Let me think here. I think everyone else is on their own terms. Let's talk about your perks a little bit, since we want to run too far without jumping back and forth, but want to see what you have. Did you change your perks when you jumped in demand instead of having a full campaign or an active campaign?
No, not really. I focused more on the stretch goals. I've still got to actually update the next stretch goal. I did add During the campaign, I added a digital edition because when I started this campaign, my intent was you are going to get a hardcover graphic novel, 130 pages of outlaw comics. Then I saw how much you guys in the US would be paying for shipping, and I was like, okay, I better add a soft cover to this. And that the shipping for that was still pretty bad. But like, I had a couple of people get in touch being like, oh man, come on, offer a digital edition. I was like, oh, I don't really want to. And then I had one guy get in touch with me and he was like, dude, I want to back your book. I work on an oil rig. The mailman is not coming here. I need a digital edition. And that kind of made me go, okay.
Nice,
I'll do a digital edition.
Dude, leave it to the hard man of the oil rigs to get you to do digital.
Yeah. Absolutely. Later on, I had someone, because there's a perk where it's a t-shirt and a soft cover, and someone said, oh man, I really want the t-shirt, but I want the hard cover. I don't want to have to do that perk and then pay more for the hardcover. Can you do one that is a t-shirt and a hardcover? And I was like, hey, look, I'm willing to listen to the readers, so you will get that perk as well. Like, that got added on. And after going in demand, I did like a kind of like a super perk where you get all the different perks, you get all the different prints and stuff. However, you also get a hand-drawn pencil sketch of Lady Satan as well, and that sold pretty damn quickly. I'm pleased to
sold
say.
out mega bundle. You're talking about here.
Yeah, that's the one.
Nice.
Heck yeah, dude. I wish I caught that before, because that's pretty cheap for all that stuff. You know, anybody who's giving value like that, I'm definitely in for. Like, I backed freaking Shelby's new book, and with the splash page art, because his value is so good. You can't deny good value.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, you have some stretch goals, but let's just say someone wants to back it right now. Where are you at with the book? Like, how far done are you with the book?
I would say I'm just past the halfway mark with the book.
And tell us your rules. What are you doing?
What I do is I've written the book, I am penciling the book, I'm inking the book, and at the moment I'm lettering the book. However, I am thinking of approaching someone who I spoke to recently as saying, can you letter it? Because my lettering skills, they're not exactly top notch, should I say, and I want the lettering to look the best that it can do. Lettering is so important.
It really is. It really
so
is.
Easy. You know,
dude.
But on top of that, I have an editor called John Wakefield, who's doing an excellent job. He is really noticing like these little moments in the book where he's like, dude, if you just add this one thing, it's just going to take it to a whole new level. And I'm like, damn it, he's right. How dare he be right?
Like puzzles.
You know? Yes, like puzzles.
Like puzzles. Puzzles.
I mean, D. Hausner brought that up, so I'm just bringing it back up. Thanks for the suggestion, D.
That's a good point.
But I've also got Robert Geronimo writing the foreword for the book as well.
Oh, nice.
Is it Eric Weathers who's lettering your book now?
Yeah, I was going to ask that too, but I asked that for everybody when they bring up letters.
That isn't who I was going to approach.
Good,
if the person I was going to approach says, I can't do it, then Eric Weathers is someone I would definitely approach. But he's lettering everyone's book. He must be so sleep deprived, it's not even funny.
I'm almost a little too counterculture to let him finish my book now. I'm almost going to have to say, Eric, you've got everybody else's book. I might have to go back. I'm going to use my own letters again.
Just so everyone knows, that's the best self-awareness joke Joe's ever made in like the past 2 years I've known him. Like,
dude, I'm not counterculture for its own sake, but I recognize that I took tendencies. All right. Okay. I'm glad that you are recognizing that, because that's one thing that separates a good book to a great book is like the finesse and having a good editor to point those things out, and having a good letterer to make it streamlined, and you don't want anything pulled out of the story or anything. So if I wanted to back this thing, which I may, because it seems awesome, what would you recommend? What's the tier that you might get the most value? You know,
what's your cool stuff?
Personally, I feel that it is the t-shirt and hardcover bundle. I mean, okay, it's only 2 items, and I'm not sure how much it is in American dollars, but I feel that's worth it.
And hardcover is great because, I feel at how many pages are you at? 165 or something?
130.
130
pages of comics.
That's still a lot. So at that amount, you're like, having a substantial hardcover is nice. You know, and I feel like anytime you're getting a good T-shirt, it's a good value. It's something you're going to wear. It's functional.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. I probably will take a peek into that this week, if not right now. Anything else about the campaign? Do you have something at the very bottom that we should look at?
One thing I will say is it doesn't matter what perk you get accreditation in the book as a producer, because at the end of the day, yes, like I've thought of this concept, I've created the character, I've written it, and I've illustrated it. I get my name on the front of the book, but the book doesn't exist without the backers, so they deserve just as much accreditation as I do. There's also a fan art section at the back of the book, and I've already had tons of people send in fan art, and there's always room for more. So if anyone wants to do a piece of Lady Satan fan art and send it my way, it'll go straight into the fan art section.
Nice, dude. I may have to do that.
Yep.
Like I'm doing a tutorial right now, and I'm doing another side book called Left Hand Free. But once those things start like streamlining a little bit more, I'm also buying a house, so that's like half my time is just signing contracts.
Star Circuit was really successful.
Yeah, dude, I'm moving into a shed with that kind of money. Yeah, I looking forward to having my very own shed. That way I could draw my comic alone. So I'm going to scroll down, just see what you got at the bottom here. Maybe a little bit of a, at least bigger images.
Oh yes. Like I said, the book is available in hardcover, softcover, and digital. There's the standard print, which is the one of Lady Satan doing the high kick. There's an Indiegogo exclusive print. Both prints are going to be colored. On here, they're in black and white at the moment, but they are being colored. One already has been colored by a guy called Catapano. And there's two variations of this Indiegogo print. There is the safe for work version and the absolute filth version, which I'm pretty sure that everyone can figure out on their own without me telling them. You've also got the Indiegogo exclusive poster. You've got the T-shirt. And as I mentioned before, Christian Rossi, I commissioned him to do a Lady Satan print. And every backer is getting one, whether they want it or not. And it looks absolutely gorgeous. If you go into the update section, you will find it there.
I'll scroll up in just a second.
Cool.
Let's go through your stretch goals real quick while we're here, because my internet's not the best. It might take an hour to get back down here.
Well, we've already hit the first two stretch goals.
Okay.
So everyone is getting a bookmark, everyone is getting a screen printed patch, and everyone is getting a Lady Satan button or pin badge. I actually have one here.
Ooh. Let me get you full screen. Give me 1 second.
Let's see how in focus or out of focus my camera is. Don't know how well you can see that, but we got these little pin badges here. Everyone's getting a Lady Satan sticker once again, whether they like it or not. Oh yes, I'll come back to the packaging in just a second.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we've hit the first two stretch goals, so you get all of that stuff. If we hit the third stretch goal, everyone's getting temporary tattoos. Ooh. Which is something I haven't seen anyone else do before, so I'm rather chuffed with myself about that one. But just to make it better,
puzzles, temporary tattoos. That's
exactly
that's the next
temporary
hit.
Tattoo gate. Hashtag it now. Okay. But like as you mentioned earlier, like value for money, that is something that's really big to me. I want to give the reader the biggest bang for as little buck as possible without putting myself into debt. But I also want them to have an experience, not just reading the book, but actually getting the book as well. So think about this, right? The book comes out in July. You back it now. And by the time July hits, you're probably going to forget that you've backed it. I've done this with several campaigns, and it's a brilliant surprise when it finally turns up in the mail. So imagine this. You've forgotten that you've backed it, and then the mailman turns up, or the delivery guy, and they ring that doorbell, and you open it up, and you just, yes, and they hand you a black box with a pentagram on it that is sealed with blood-stained crime scene tape. You instantly think that you're on a register. You instantly think that you're thinking the FBI is watching you, but you'll take it anyway because you don't know what else to do. And then when you open it up, inside there's an evidence bag, and you're like, oh no, what have I got myself into? And then when you open that up, that evidence bag, there's your book.
I I think you just literally sold me on it with that pitch there. That's maybe what you should open with next time. You guys want to think you're a criminal and then realize you're not a criminal? Get my book.
Exactly. Get this book. And I can tell you now, I already have 300 feet of blood-stained crime scene tape. That was the weirdest delivery I've ever had.
Oh my goodness.
Sorry, John.
Awesome.
I didn't mean to offend you there, John.
That had to be awesome. What is this for, sir? Work.
So like don't be surprised if when your book turns up, it's not even the mailman or the delivery guy, it's the police going, I think this is for you.
Right. here's your package, and also I've got some questions.
Yes. Where were you?
Right. This is coming from out of the US. We have the FBI on this one. So Mo is bringing up that he's got freaking AR-15 orangutan.
Huh?
Is that a thing?
What now?
Is he like doing his own book? Is he going to do his own?
Is it going to happen?
That IP? I'm just jumping into a random conversation they've been having for a while, but that's interesting to me because that is the community's book. You cannot own it.
Yeah. Do you guys know about El Crudo?
What is that?
It's another book which is an orangutan with that's dropped into Vietnam and has to fight his way through the jungle. It's currently, I think, funding, and it's from a guy from Seattle. His name is Manny Shape. I was on another stream where I was modding and he was being interviewed. So I think there's kind of a zeitgeist for that.
It's a weird thing. Like right now, the zeitgeist in
I think we got to do a versus comic book. AR orangutan versus
El Crudo.
Book? Mm-hmm. I don't even think that's even ready.
Smash him.
Leroy say it's El Crudo's AR retarded cousin. So there's already some.
Hey, the word's TikTok now, man. We can't use the R word anymore. We have to use the word TikTok.
Dude, look, we're on art, bro. Bros don't care. You know what I mean?
I still like saying TikTok more than the R word, so I'm going to use it.
Okay, keep going. I'm out of that sphere of things. However, what does this say? AR is greater than yes. Okay.
USMC orangutan. Hoorah!
He's also found the book, so go check that out, people, if you want to see what that's all about. So real quickly, I'm gonna go back to your page and look at your updates. I forgot to go do that before we head out of this little convo.
Go check that out, guys.
Updates here. Go check it out, dudes.
Yeah.
Get on there.
I'm not sure how far it's down, but you'll know it when you see it.
All right. Problem with patches.
Oh yeah, I had to do a redesign because apparently the design that I put in was too detailed.
Right.
And I was like, okay, I'll do it again. Fine, you be
in there.
I'll know when I see it, or
I think we may have gone past it, but if we're lucky, I might actually have one of the prints with me.
Full screen, Joe. Full screen.
This one?
Oh
no, that's the Indiegogo variant.
Okay, we're gonna full screen you.
Yes, here we are. This is what the Christian Rossi print looks like.
Yeah, I've been spotting that thing. That thing looks cool.
Yeah, dude.
How awesome is that? I want to put it on a t-shirt, you know.
That is cool.
To be on a t-shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Or what are the metal posters? Or the metal
hit up Phoenix.
That's a good idea. So yeah, every backer is getting one of these. The digital backers, they'll get a printable PDF of this print, and all the physical backers will get the physical print. I've already had a ton of the stretch goal perks and stuff turn up. Literally the last things that will be printed will be the t-shirts and the book itself.
What a gentleman you are for getting that PDF to people. The fairy says only back Crudo for research purposes. Yes, we don't want we don't want to get he said something before it, and maybe that's cues into it. I have an addition to the AR universe and development. I don't want to say too much until it's done. So he's checking it out to make sure he doesn't like have a crossing of ideas or something. So yeah, this is crazy. This is crazy that you have like it's weird because you have a fully funded book, and it's already coming, and whenever you're in this situation and you haven't backed something, you're like, it's already happening. All I have to do is tap onto this this energy, and I can get one in my mailbox as well, and think I'm a criminal, and it can all be mine. All that can be mine. So, anything you want to say as far as like the book is concerned? Because we'll probably move on to like other topics.
To be fair, I think I've pretty much covered everything with the book, with the exception of, obviously, don't get it for your kids. It's not for them. You'd be amazed how many books I do like this. And the first thing that happens is someone goes, I want to get this for my 5-year-old. And I'm like, no, don't, please.
I think they're trolling you, but yeah.
Not when you're at a convention and the kid's going,
yeah.
I've had that a few times before, and I've had to be like, you don't want to buy this for your kid. Trust me.
Right. You're going to have nightmares, kid. This is what nightmares are made of.
In this book that you do not want your kid learning until they're 8 years old at school.
I know. We need to really protect our kids from these lady Satan books.
Yes, absolutely.
Correct. You agree. Now, Mo has a good question. What if your kids are Satanists? Wouldn't that be a line?
In that case, hey, look, I'm not here to judge your parenting whatsoever. I'm A-okay with this. Just remember to teach them that in order to beckon me, you don't need to sacrifice virgins anymore. You just need to find me on social media and go to my website and YouTube and all that, and it's fine. Right.
Do you take sacrificial things as payment for this book?
I do now.
Now that you've said it.
I didn't before, but I do now. I mean, John does need a friend. He gets very lonely at night, you know.
All right, this is not. I do not condone going out and sacrificing a squirrel or something in the neighborhood, unless you're going to have it for food, because squirrels like chicken. You know what I mean? Leroy knows. So let's move on to a kind of inspirational type of questions, because we like to go into a lot of the art side of things. And since you're an artist, Heroineburgh is not. Right? Are you a secretly an artist?
No, I actually do almost everything but the art. I mean, literally, I write, I market, I'm first camera, I pick the locations, I supervise all the costuming. So the only thing I really don't do is I don't do the website. We have a webmaster. I don't do the editing. I don't do the art, and I don't do the printing, but I wear about 7 other hats. Yeah. Oh, and by the way, I just wanted to put a little addendum. Our book is probably for about 12 or 13 and up as well. You could call us PG-13. The videos are also PG-13, so not for maybe 7-year-olds. But we do in episode 2, our Satanist superhero conducts a Crowleyan ritual straight from the Book of the Golden Dawn. To kind of establish her religious preference. So,
so that's when the I guess that's the teen part. That's when teen comes into play a little bit.
Yeah, that's where. Yeah. I mean, once you become a teen and you can wear pentagram T-shirts of your favorite band.
Is it the Abramelin?
It's bad what?
One. Is it the Abramelin that Crowley did and walked out on?
No. It's just a straight. It's just a straight as above, so below, that.
Oh, yeah.
Right, from the book. Yeah, she does that, light some candles, but, no sacrificing of any animals, just, concentrating her will to power, right?
Well, you'll need to pay for your comic book from Lucifer.
Yeah. So,
sorry.
I feel like, no, it's all good. It's all good. I've asked several questions. Kind of just about the book, but more importantly, a lot of people want to know about the process, maybe, or even maybe not so technical, but what inspired. Like we got a little bit from you, Heroineburgh, about like the city of Pittsburgh inspiring, and the play about Batman and that sort of
right in our general kind of childhood with all the superhero shows we grew up with and stuff, and the ones that we still watch because we like stuff like The Boys,
Right. For sure. And you know, a lot of the things that come out these days, you're still watching. Like, I love the take on the Dark Knight Returns, their animated version, that double feature they did for DC. That was really great.
Shout out to one specific TV series from the 90s and early 2000s, Black Scorpion. So don't forget that one.
Cool.
Okay. Black Scorpion. Good shout out. So you're
Roger Corman, yeah.
And he made that?
Yeah. It was his superhero thing. He also did a Vampirella movie, which was terrible, but the Black Scorpion TV show and movie was really good. So yeah.
Huh. Interesting. Dude, all these things you got to go back. It's like so many little things these days. Like, entertainment's gone nuts, and so it's almost even crazier if you think about the history of all the entertainment we've had. You know, go watch, just get the whole Turner Classic Movies bundle, and you're like ready to go for ages of old school movies and whatnot. Anyway, in this day and age, it's even crazier. Everybody, plus your family members, have a new show they want you to watch, a new book to read. Yes. So it's one of those times where everyone's got their own opinion. So Lucifer Storm, and may I never asked you what has inspired Lady Satan, because we got a little bit of what HP thinks, or what inspired him. What inspired Lady Satan?
Quite a lot of things. To be honest with you, I mean, when I first came up with the character, I was going through a bit of a shit time in my life, to put it bluntly, and it was one of those things where, in order to like come out of it a better person and to learn from any mistakes that any parties had made, you really have to go through that darkness first. Yeah, because so many of us, we are wired to try and avoid that pain kind of thing. And unfortunately, the only way you get to like being in a very happy place is you've got to head straight into that darkness, and you've got to keep going right until you get to the bottom, and then you get through all the sludge and you're like, oh cool, there's sunshine down here, I'll give this a go, actually. So it was like one of those situations. Like I said, I was in a really bad place. I had like a lot of crap happen to me. I was taken to people to court because of stuff, and it was just absolutely horrible, and I really needed a cathartic outlet for it, something to like really express just how shit I felt. And at the time, I was playing about with some of my old characters, but I had to protect them because I had worked with an artist on a book, and during that time working on this particular book, the artist had run up a huge amount of debt under my name, and I had debt collectors coming to me and go, okay, you owe us money. And I was like, no, I don't. And they were like, well, you do, and if you don't give us the money, we're going to take like your most valuable assets. And the first thing they had on their list was taking my characters away from me. So I had to move the rights to my characters to a trusted friend and say, okay, you get them for 5 years, but you can't do shit with them. I can't do shit with them. And after 5 years, they revert back to me. So I literally had no characters to play with. I wanted to. I was kind of preparing myself. Okay, when the 5 years is up, I can do this with this character and this with this character and stuff. But I really needed something fresh to work with. So I started looking at public domain characters. And I was looking at characters like Miss Mask and Nightmare and Sleepy and Black Terror and stuff like that, and think, what would I do with these characters and stuff? Just having a little bit of fun. Yeah, very much. It was like that literally just before they started doing that book. And I came across this character called Lady Satan, who I believe was created by George Tusker, who was one of the people who helped create Luke Cage. And I looked at like her short run, because there was only like about 7 or 8 like 8-page stories with her, and I realized that she was pretty much a blank slate. Like the first issue, she was this spy hunting down Nazis and shooting them and stuff, and then the next issue, she was a witch fighting werewolves, and it was like, okay, they didn't know what to do with her. So this is a complete blank slate, and all I wanted was the name. I didn't want the character, I just wanted the name, because that intrigued me. And I was like, what kind of a character would justify becoming a vigilante or a superhero or whatever, but justify calling themselves Lady Satan? Like, what hell, excuse the pun, would they have to go through to justify that? Because it's not like, I got mugged once. I had an online scammer, right? Very nice guy from Nigeria who said he had a few million bob on him. and he screwed me over, so I'm going to call myself Lady Satan. You know, it doesn't work like that.
Right.
So because like I was in like a fairly dark place of my own, I started going to therapy, which was one of the best decisions of my life. You know, I really needed that cathartic outlet, and I started thinking about the character more and thinking, well, the only thing that I felt could justify a character saying, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to fight bad guys and I'm going to call myself Lady Satan, I felt was like, well, it has to be a huge trauma, but it can't just be a typical I was attacked on the street. So I eventually got to the point where I was like, well, what if they were in a snuff film? Like, what kind of person would you have to be to survive an experience like that? Because like I said, who knows of anyone who was like, oh, I got abducted for a snuff film, but I got out of it. I talked my way out of it. You know, I gave them a couple of bucks and they were okay with it. Doesn't happen. So you've got to be both strong but very fragile at the same time. And that just really intrigued me. And it just started working from there. And it just became this, like I said, a very cathartic story where I felt like I could get all my frustration out, all the sorrow that I was feeling, all the hurt I was feeling, the depression and everything else. I was like, I need to put this into a book, you know, because if I don't put it into a book, if I don't put it into musical or something creative, what am I going to do? To get through this? I'm probably going to do some shit things, and I really don't want to go down that road. So I just started working on Lady Satan.
I feel like a lot of people do a lot of their writing to just get through stuff. And I'm sure when I look back on even Star Circuit, even though it's kind of lively and you know, if you've seen Star Circuit, it's vibrant and about fun stuff, but there's probably some stuff in there that's darker than, you know, even I really think about, but maybe there's a reason why it's there. However, that's a great backstory to it. Yeah, great motivation and great like a catalyst to making the book, which is interesting. Yeah, Riverbend Bear says art therapy. Exactly.
Yeah, Joe,
absolutely.
you need to when you can get back to Heroineburgh. They have some sort of theme song I've been seeing in the chat.
I see the chat. They say to me that I ignore the chat. They say things like this.
Like Bancroft's a better host.
Right. Well, we all know that's not true. But however, they can say all they want. I want to go show what they're talking about. Mo says the big thing is play the Heroineburgh theme song. Heroineburgh, how do I do this?
Okay, cool. So the Heroineburgh theme song is a very catchy synth pop tune, which I wrote in 1985 in high school. The original lyrics are about the girl in front of me in algebra class and kind of how pretentious and plastic she was, kind of a Molly Ringwald type, I guess. Anyway, I repurposed that song 30 years later and turned it into She's Living in Heroineburgh. So
do you have it?
It's the theme song is on every one of the trailers. If you want to go to episode 18, because I know Mo wanted to see the Savannah, the cat girl in action or something.
Is this on? Go to season 1 or 2
episodes, and it's the top. It's the final trailer there on the website.
Okay. I'm doing it before I start sharing. That way we move quicker with my internet.
It's on our YouTube channel as well. So yeah.
Okay.
Oh, and by the way, the newest video I put on our YouTube channel is we have a girl who made 8-bit perler magnets of every single one of the characters, all 35 of them, and she's selling them on her website too. Her name is Dr. Pixel, and she's also from Pittsburgh. She does perler magnets of, like, you know, all the CW shows and Marvel characters. She's doing ours too now.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to share this page. I will share the page, and we'll all watch this. And you know, it's not every day.
Guys in your theme music, man.
Yeah.
Like I didn't think theme music was becoming in comic books. Lucy, I mean, same with you, dude. It's like
there you go. Episode 18, parts 1 and 2. The theme will stick into your head after a couple plays. So
all right, so we're gonna give it a try, guys. You ready for this?
Great, I got Mr. Pocket stuck in my head. This has got to get out.
Turn it up you might want to turn it up all the way. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it mid, and then I'll turn up as
sounds
needed.
Good.
I don't want to blow out anybody's ears. This is for safety, guys.
Understood.
Okay, here we go.
That's a good volume.
Yeah. See what? I know what I'm doing.
There's some darkness.
She's living in Heroineburgh. Never mind what you heard. Super heroine is the word. She's living fantastic dreams. She's shooting out laser beams.
That's Marvin.
Taking
Yeah, I
over
see it.
computer screens. She puts her costume on and she's feeling super strong. When deadly threats attack, she'll be ready to strike back.
Yep.
She's living in Heroineburgh.
So those character stickers you just saw, those as well as the covers are all done by Jason Wright. He is the most. He is the guy who lives in Pittsburgh who has the most credits in the industry. He has over 650 credits, mostly with DC. He just came off coloring the entire Metal Men series for Shane Davis.
Oh, nice.
And before that he did stuff for EVS on Green Lantern, and he's colored Gail Simone on Secret Six, and he's done his resume goes all the way back to 96, 97. So yeah, he's
Cool.
a big asset with our stuff because obviously he's the forward facing the cover artist, and he does all those stickers you saw on the video. They go inside the comics, so every single comic gets a free character sticker inside, like
Nice.
a tiny little prize, like a cereal box prize.
I dig that. I think a lot of people are digging it. Maxenberg says, nice, and hello, everybody. Good that you showed up. We normally have already cut off Art Bros. Art Bros usually ends at 8, but this is like the after double feature show that we're doing once in a while. And in fact, it might turn into this as we go because I find it's just easier to get everybody streaming at one time instead of me streaming every day, if you know what I mean. Anybody knows streaming, it takes a lot of time. And if you're actually trying to make a book, if you're trying to actually market your book, it takes time. Everything takes time.
Yes.
So, but yeah, we talked about some inspirations. We saw this. Do you have any songs that, did you write the song in your trailer, Lucifer Storm or something? Do you know anybody that made your music?
Actually, I used to be the front man of a metal band called Abuse.
So that was you.
What
That
style?
was me. That was our first song that we ever wrote. It was also the first song on our debut album that we recorded back in 2005 after we had just finished playing with bands like Skin Dread and Breed 77. We went into the studio for 6 months, and that was the first track on the album. And it was just when I was putting the trailer together, I was like, I need a song. And I was like, this kind of fits actually.
Yeah.
So I'll just put it on there and go for it. So yeah, I was the guy who was singing.
I dig it. No, I could.
Psych.
What, Lucy,
I
what
recognize your
style
voice,
of
yeah.
metal are we talking about?
Oh, you heard.
I would say
That-
kind of
that had a
like
bit of
alternative.
black, yeah.
Alternative metal,
metal?
I would say.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
More
I like
kind of like towards the new metal-y kind of stuff.
Oh, new metal. Okay, yeah, I like labels like Relapse and Season of Mist. So yeah.
Oh yes, Relapse. They do. They put out great bands.
Over.
Ulver.
So 2 out of 10. Leroy says, apologize to Yinzer and look.
Oh man, I need to change my name. Lucifer Joe just sounds so fucking good.
Right?
Yeah. Lucifer Joe. So, I'm thinking you're actually very good as a frontman, Lucifer. So, is there any way to listen to your music from, your previous life here in music? Is there any way to go listen to that stuff?
Yes, on my website, luciferstorm.com. If you go to the music section, you'll see the Abuse logo. Click on that, and you can listen to the debut album that we did back in 2005. And soon, later this year, my new music project will be dropping the debut EP, which will go up on my website first. It's a project called Sandman, but it's not spelled how you would normally spell it. It's S&MAN. And we're doing an EP, a 5-track EP called The Apex Disorder.
Nice.
And all the instrumental masters have been done, so I've literally got to wait for the COVID restrictions to lift a little bit, and then I'm going into the studio to record the vocals.
Yeah, this is incredible, dude, because for some reason this week has just become a musical week. I'm glad Heroineburgh had his own theme song.
Yes,
Now
beyond the theme song, we actually over the course of 19 episodes, we have at least 15 local bands as part of our soundtracks, as well as we use Creative Commons music. The series really started out kind of as an outgrowth of the music scene, and so many of the actors in it are from the music scene, and in fact, several of the ladies are in bands themselves. So, and we use their music, out of respect.
Awesome.
And, yeah,
That's great,
so
man.
that is awesome. I bring it up because I almost forgot this was happening, but Thursday I have another stream. I'm streaming every day. How am I going to get work done, guys? I'm streaming with Dark Gift. We're Anthony over there. We're going to do a music show. We're going to just talk music because I've got the mixtape for Star Circuit.
Yeah.
we'll be there. What time?
That I'm not sure. He posted on Twitter. I can't remember. So maybe 9. Could be 9. Could be a little bit tentative right now. I'm not exactly sure what he posted, but it's tomorrow evening, EST. And I'm sure it's going to be a blast because, we're talking music so it's not dry. We're going to be listening to stuff. We're going to be critiquing stuff, I'm sure.
I don't know if you've listened to your art videos, but they're pretty dry.
The what?
I don't know if you've listened to your art videos before, but they're pretty dry.
Oh, my art videos?
Yeah.
Yeah, but none of them I'm talking about music. I'm talking about this one's going to be just about the music.
I
However,
love you, man.
Look, dude, we're both. I'm a slight bit of a musician, and you are too. I know that you've played a few instruments, right, Jeremy?
Oh, I dance too. Yeah, just get me
What,
in the right.
danced?
Just give me in the right lifters and the pumps. Yeah, I'm ready. Yo,
Dude, we'll have to do a dance off then too. Bud's in the chat. What's up, Bud? And we're actually getting some compliments in here. Mo says, "Good show, guys." I don't know what that means. You guys know what that means?
No, it's the first time I've ever heard that.
So on Thursday, that's tomorrow, I'll be on Dark Gift talking the music of Star Circuit, which really will include many people. Like Ryan Wynn has a track coming for it, as well as Vosto Synthwave and a couple other people that are more unknown. But I'm going to be giving all that information when I give out the tracks as the mixtape is emailed to you when we release the book. So really quickly while we're on the page, and that way we can start segueing into the end of the show. Star Circuit, we had some awesome backers happen yesterday late in the day, thanks to, I think, the Thevenot kind of inspired some people to back. Where
was he at on ours, huh?
Yeah, I don't know. Not there.
Not there.
Riverbend Bear backed us yesterday. Shout out to Riverbend Bear. It's a champion move. Anyway, we're so close now to the next stretch goal, which is these biker patches. And everybody loves patches because I don't know. It's just cool to have something more permanent, more. Pins are a little bit. I don't know. They jangle around and stuff. I'm not a big fan of pins. No offense.
A patch is more permanent than a temporary tattoo.
Right. If you sew it on your skin, it can be even more permanent. So my book is a cyberpunk racing adventure. If you haven't heard about it, it is a killer art style with a little bit of a mix between a personal story about relationships that go bad and families that are imperfect, mixed with this really Akira-inspired street racing. It's a man versus machine story. The little blurb that I have here, because apparently I can't speak tonight. It says, after all human attempts have ended in tragedy, one street racer, Atlas Metric, is still convinced that with the help of a long-forgotten racing legend, he can win in a championship full of unbeatable androids and save what's left of his broken family. And that gives this feel of he's doing this for other people, but really the main character he's out for himself. And the arc of this story is, how do you become a better person? Kind of. It's also about what gives you purpose as a human in a world where there is no purpose. So waiting for this to catch up. Oh, look at that. There's Jeremy Thevenot's print that you get for free, no matter what. If you're back right now, you're getting Jeremy's print.
Yeah.
You're getting a bunch of other things too. You're getting a postcard, a print, the mixtape. You're getting extra pages in the book. My internet's just going slow. Otherwise, we'd scoot down to the stretch goals real quickly. We also have this concept art called Layouts and Design, which is another 32-page book of everything that you'd want to see in the behind-the-scenes look at things. It's the layouts, it's the concept art, it's a lot of the early scripts, early logos, everything you want to see if you want to see how a comic book is made from the ground up. And I'm almost there. Or did I skip it? Did I miss the stretch goals? I missed the stretch goals. It jumped on me. That's all I was trying to get to. That's a bummer.
What is love? Baby, don't
right? What is on my internet? It's like skipping the stretch goals purposely. Is Mo running my internet? Is he on my internet service provider's location? One day, guys, we'll get there. Maybe it's not even worth it anymore. Here we go. Okay, so as you can see, we've unlocked the postcard. We've unlocked Jeremy's print. We've unlocked the pages. We've unlocked the mixtape. We are now on this kanji. See if we can zoom in here. This is it's like a Star Circle logo with the kanji patch, just like that, in this kind of more rectangular look with the rounded edges. It's just going to fit nicely on any of your patchy kind of accessory pieces of clothing or backpack or whatever you're going to put on. Anyway, that's it for Star Circuit. Go check it out. Check out our music-based stream with Dark Gift tomorrow. We'll be talking everything. We're going to outro probably with the mixtape teaser tonight, so stick around for that. Oh, shit, dude. Leroy backed. Leroy backed, but he's also backed way back in the day. He didn't back again tonight.
He's like, stop yelling at me, Joe.
So TF is...
Does yelling work?
Yelling does work. That's all I do, and I'm doing pretty well.
I just didn't want to be cheesy like little Philip DeFranco. I'll punch you in the throat. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
All right, I got a few laughs on that. I'm good. All right.
So TF is my writer for my other book, and he's saying, do an interpretive dance explaining Star Circuit through dancing. No words. Yes. I need another box of wine for that to happen.
All right, back it again, guys. He needs
back it again so I can drink this whole box of wine. Okay, we're getting out of here. We're going to jump onto Jeremy. Do you want to talk a little bit about your book before?
Yeah, just real quick, guys. My book is a new comic book that I'm actually putting together for Beckoned. It's actually going to be going backwards in the timeline. The games are going to be moving forward. Since we did not hit our Indiegogo goal that first time, it was 68K, 2 months, and I was a nobody. I just showed up as soon as it went live. So, guys, if you're going to be pushing your own books, if you're going to be pushing your own games, garner that fandom and then bring them in first. Don't hope that you get trendy. So I learned that lesson. So we will be relaunching that Indiegogo for the game later, but we will be building it up with a comic book. But to get more familiar with the story that I'm putting together and the game, you can visit zadestudios.com and go to the Beckoned section. We've got all the story and everything that was there on the Indiegogo, which you still could go and read anyway. But you can go and try the prototype on Steam now. That's still up there. So if you want to try it out, download it. Let us know what you think in discussions. Hit that wish list button. And yeah, as far as the comic book page, the pages are going, I'm on page 12. I'm finalizing page 12 up now. So that actually gets me almost halfway through the book so far. So nice. as far as like getting the inks or the pens, or not getting the inks will be next, but I'm trying to get the roughs or the pencils down now. So yeah,
that's awesome.
Keyword is fractal, right?
Yeah. The 3 words Jeremy says most. Can we guess them, guys? Number 1 is Amano. Number 2, fractal. And 3,
it better be Beckoned.
Maybe Beckoned. Maybe
why I failed.
I was going to say something like, I don't know, Bigums or something I say that you repeat. So what we want to do eventually is do like another sketch battle in which we get more people on to do that. Maybe Lucifer's down to do some sketch battles later on.
Yes. Yeah, any artist. And I am calling a few out. I've been calling Jazza out just in case he runs past this.
Jazza? You mean drawing with Jazza?
Yeah, that guy. I've been wanting to challenge him and take him down. And then Ethan, what's the last name?
Talking about EVS or something?
No.
Ethan Becker, you're saying?
Yeah. Ethan Becker. Yeah, okay. I want to take that guy down too.
Yeah, so that's a good idea.
I want to ruin careers here. No,
it's a good idea to bring. I want to bring. here at Art Bros, we're all about branding. You know what I mean? Branding is the most important thing you can do. If you got a friend, you need to brand them. If you got that doesn't sound right. If you got
Oh, no, it sounded
Well,
fine
you got
from
your
where I
next-
was sat.
Yeah, you got your next book, Lucy.
I know.
Brandon with a pentagram. Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
But we all like branding here. Jeremy's an expert at branding.
I'm
Leroy
a
says
not a brander. There's a difference.
Jeremy should call Rockford out. Yeah, Rockford would probably kill, but I'm sure that would turn out well.
The thing is I love doing that because if I actually get the chance to, I'll learn some stuff.
For sure, dude. I want to get Rockford on this Art Bros because regardless of what if we just draw all together, that'd be just amazing. That'd be a dream come true for me because I love Rockford. Inspired my work a lot.
Winning's easy. Losing and learning. That's where the maturity comes in.
For sure.
Is he starting to do streams and interviews now? I know he's very elusive.
I mean, he had his closeout with Leroy yesterday, but for his book, Broken, which is just one of the best looking books around. However, yeah, he jumps on randomly, not super consistently. It's his second language, English, so it's probably not something he's looking forward to doing consistently. But he's going to get better. I guarantee he's going to get better as he goes. We all do. And so, yeah, I want to do a little close out we'll just go around the wheel here of faces and say kind of where we can find each other online, what we're doing maybe this week. If we have anything pressing as far as promo stuff, just, give it a couple minutes and say things like that. We'll start out with Lucifer.
Cool. You can find me at luciferstorm.com, but you can also find me on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter. And that's pretty much it.
Awesome. Great. Erwin?
Thanks. Our website is heroineburgh.com, where you get the videos and the comics. Our Facebook and DeviantArt and YouTube are all also called Heroineburgh. And then for some reason, our Twitter is Heroineburgh1.
Interesting.
Do we have time for another very short trailer? It's up to you.
Did you tell me how long a very short trailer is?
Well, it would be cool to play Vendetta's introduction of the second comic book. I think it would be fun. Maybe we can close our part out with that.
Sure.
Let me go to our YouTube channel. Can you find our YouTube channel? Links in.
If I go from your website, it's going to go straight to your YouTube channel. Am I right?
Sure. Or you can just search it on YouTube or look at the link I put in the private thing.
Oh, you put in the private chat.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Nice. It didn't give me that update. Let's see.
Thanks, Leroy.
Leroy's giving us a nice compliment.
If you scroll down slightly, there's a picture of a girl in red with a mask sitting at a table holding the comic book, and she's going to introduce comic book number 2. That would be a good way to close us out, really.
Okay, you got it.
And your sound was excellent so.
Oh, really? Nice.
Yeah, it was great.
Perfect. So we're scrolling down until we see a.
Someone's got to get that Night of the Rocks Fairy song out of my head. I'm going to be doing that.
How about this? What is love anyway? Does anybody love anybody anyway?
Where's that trailer, Joe?
I'm looking. Well, I was going to ask, what is the?
Just joking.
What's the thumbnail look like again?
I just sang a different "What Is Love" to get yours out of.
What's the thumbnail look like again? There.
It's the girl in the red spandex with the black mask, and she's holding up the comic book at the table with a green screen behind her.
Under uploads.
Under uploads, yeah. In the second or third row. It's not that far down.
All right.
I mean, we only put up.
She's at a table. You're saying?
Yeah, it says Vendetta. Her name is Vendetta. Introduces you to issue number 2. It's in the title.
Remember,
search Vendetta on your page. Let's see.
It's pretty close to the top.
Okay. Let's see. Surveys destruction? No.
No, it's in the third row. Where to buy Heroineburgh Comics number 2 with Vendetta.
I see. I found it now. Let's pull it up. This is a good little ender for you.
Sure, it's fun.
Perfect. Let's bring it up. Oh, I have to close out of this one and go into a new one because it's got audio.
This is as close as we have to a crowdfunding trailer, I guess. So
awesome.
As it were.
Sharing screen. activate.
Powers activate.
Yes. Form of YouTube.
Form of an ice.
All right. Let's bring this one here.
That's Mauricia. She also produces her own comic book. She's part of our little clique of comic book creators, along with Marvin.
Nice. I love a little community. We have that community around here. All right. So here we go. Let's check this out. Did I hit audio? Did I? Yes.
Hello, Heroineburgh fans. I am Vendetta, the Italian spirit of vengeance, starring in the live-action series and also in issue 2 of Heroineburgh Comics, with art by Jason Wright of DC Comics. Where can you get it? In stores all over Pittsburgh, all over North America, and in other places worldwide. For a complete list of shops, check out the description below. Or order directly from our website, heroineburgh.com.
Nice.
Now, please excuse me. I must get back to fighting crime and corruption in the Steel City.
Wow. Killer. And Malin is popping up. Thank you, Malin, for giving me that. And yeah, this is awesome. I love how
kills commies.
Oh, we don't want to snipe. No sniping. No sniping right now. Okay. Yeah, that's a great way to end it for you because we have all the avenues where you can find your books, buy your books.
Yep.
And why is Jeremy wearing a whatever that is?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Well, that ends Art Bros. All right. If we didn't scare anybody away, Jeremy has done it already. No. Here we go. We're going to end up with my mixtape. Have a great night, everybody. Thank you for joining the chat. You can find me at Catapano Art on Instagram and Twitter. Also, Star Circuit is on Indiegogo. Look that up. Jeremy, you are Zaid Studio or Studio Zaid on Twitter. Am I right?
On Twitter, yes, and Zaid Studios everywhere else like Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. Check us out.
Heck yeah. So to really close it out, like I said, we got this little teaser for our music that's coming for your Star Circuit enjoyment. And I think next week we got some more great guests. I'm going on to do Global Frequencies, Flatting and Chatting at 9 o'clock. So I got to jump out of here. But thanks for joining us, Heroineburgh and Lucifer and Jeremy.
Thank you so much,
Go
Joe.
back some books. Go back some books.
Back some books. Bye now, guys.